Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh, wait, 1 second.
Oh yeah, take your time.
Kind of buggy.
Oh yeah. Can you repeat that again? Sorry.
That's perfectly fine. I was just asking you to say something so I could see if I could hear you or not because I
Yeah,
didn't have like headphone in.
it's okay. It's okay. Can you hear me fine now?
Yep, I can hear you perfectly now.
Okay, perfect. Well, tell me, how is everything? What's the latest news so far?
Played a bit of ranked the other day. Though none of them are like good VODs for a session. I've had very like low quality ranked games recently in terms of they're just very like flip floppy. One of my most recent game started with 5 DPS and 1 support on the enemy team,
Hmm.
and we still took 20 minutes to win that game. Just like yeah, and it's either been like massive just it's a lot of it's just rock slides where nobody dies or and we just never lose a team fight, or ones where yeah, or ones where we just don't stand a chance. Like it's just been very weird. But uh, I do have a custom game I played, which I think is a lot better.
That is okay. We can also
Yep.
focus on the custom game. Well, tell me what you've been working on recently.
Mostly positioning. I thought a lot about the lane pressure and
Mhm.
rotating between lanes, uh, and I decided. Well, I did a lot of that on Loki, and then I decided to start just experimenting it and try to deepen my understanding of it. So I started playing different characters, like a Psylocke, who can still do that. Just she's to do it from a closer range and still play the lanes, but she's very good for rotating between them as well. But it allowed me to think about it in a different light, from a different like perspective on how I use the space.
Sounds good. And how do you think it went for you, the lane control overall?
I think I got really good at it. I'm not gonna lie. I think I it was my main focus in like all of the games I've played for like weeks over multiple accounts. And I understand a lot of the stuff you were talking about now about how it's safer when you try to leave. You have better cover, the angle's better, and also like you playing up there means they like if you're gonna get dived, they have to dive you to get you out of the high ground and then dive you again to get you off. But also, it just shuts down the enemy team from being
Mhm.
able to use that space until they clear you out of it, which allows you to just stop divers completely just by existing on the high ground. That you force them to dive you like twice.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Yeah, sounds pretty good. If you have decent progress there, that's good. What else? So mostly focusing positioning. What about the other aspects? I remember you mentioned there've been some problems with just mentality-wise, just dealing with difficult teammates, or maybe just overall with the pressure of the game. How that's been?
Um, Mental wise, well, I'm more into the game now. Like I was playing with some like I yeah, I've been playing with my like IRL friends a little bit. That was like probably one of my most key problems with my IRL friends just never liked this game or Overwatch. They didn't like Overwatch, so they didn't like this game. So I was never able to like enjoy it, but I managed to convince them to hop on. We've been having fun on here recently, which let and I because of their rank and stuff, I just can have fun and experiment with characters and play around, and at the same time, I actually have fun playing and stacking with people. and I've been at, but yeah, so that went quite well for me. But as for like other issues, like teammates or whatever, I think just my mental for that is just like I'm not in the solo queue mental right now, I guess. But mm, as for what I've been like focusing on and whatever, I think maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Oh, if you
Ma-
mentioned that you're not in a solo queue mentor right now, what do you mean by that?
Like it, it's not those like me versus the lobby. Turn my mic off. Like mute everyone. Like I'm not on that. Like I'm not on that. Like oh, I never blame your teammates. It's your fault if you lose. All that. I'm not on that kind of mentality that maybe I used to have.
Right,
Which
right. So do you want to have that mentality which you used to have, which been helpful to you more right now?
uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think the other mentality was like okay, but I think maybe trying to work with people rather than me versus the lobby, trying to just like bring your team up regardless is like probably better. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure.
That's okay. That's okay because I remember you've been also getting something like some help with that too. Maybe I'm just curious what you've been doing as well. Just help you out with those problems. And if you need any additional resources too, maybe something we can go over with as well. Just how to remain calm and this just have this good mentality for just climbing in general. Yeah, so it's comfortable for you.
Hmm.
So, is there anything you would have been trying to do out of the advice which you taken before, or?
Mostly to just have fun. I got recommended to just like start smurfing a little. If my games feel like really unorganized and like really bad, and I want to just enjoy the game,
Mm-hmm.
I got recommended play just Smurf, right? Just Smurf, play some games. Don't take it too serious, and just enjoy like play some fun characters. Go on a bronze account and lose on Spider-Man every game. Something like just go have fun.
Yeah, yeah. What it sounds is there's this strategy is basically you want to ultimately have those active hours of practice time where you're just dedicating towards the goals where you actively doing something, yeah, like playing on your main account, maybe you're working on something, and then there are also hours where you need to have fun. Yeah, you just need to do something, maybe like play with your real life friends, maybe you just try to also play in the other account. That's completely fine, this is common. Yeah, just make sure you kind of differentiate between those hours, maybe before you've been forcing yourself to just invest too many hours, like, and it's been always active practice for you, so maybe this is not good, right? We just want to make sure there's active practice, having fun, yeah, kind of, versus that. Usually the idea is if we can get to, it just depends on what your goals are. If you're getting towards the highest rank, it's typically the active practice should be more, and yeah, just we should invest more time into that, but you can always balance that and see where you're at currently and just maybe slowly build on the time, the active practice, I would say. What rank you currently in?
I've played only a few games. I've played about 4 games this season, simply just to get to Platinum 3, just so my team can 'cause I'm a coach now for a team, and they wanted to get me in to be able to like be part of the faction from RC. So I just only played to Platinum 3 in ranked.
That's fine, that's fine.
So,
What rank you ended up in your previous season?
when we last spoke, I was Diamond 1, and I had like barely even playing the game at all. I think I hadn't played for
Mm-hmm.
like a week or so. But it was the last day of the season, and I told one of my friends that because he'd been out for a while, that I'd get him to GM. So I played a bunch and got to like halfway into GM3 before hopping off.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What are your goals currently so far?
My goals long term. Well, I don't know about long term. I want to still like increase my understanding of the game. Today, I want to be looking at. This is actually pretty good VOD for this. I wanted to expand more on my Mantis and introduce my Invis to this as well.
That is fine.
As
Okay.
and I feel like I have issues with maybe with like timing slash like team fight reading. Like I don't think I'm the like I think it's probably one of my weakest areas right now. Like I found even when I was on a team, like if I died like midway through a fight, I'd come back and I'd constantly be asking people what ults they used. Like I wasn't aware or like with ultra like just to ult track like
That makes sense.
I wouldn't yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe that's like another thing is attention
Mhm.
and
That makes
it's
sense.
just
Mhm.
uh, that's something I guess I have issues with.
Yeah, that's okay. Your long-term practice though, do you have any goal with the rank currently where you want to get at?
Uh, I think I'm capable of hitting Eternity this season and hit a new peak, but I also have to play to make that happen.
Yes, okay. Yeah, this is what I'm curious about. Yeah, because so far, well, especially with the previous things you mentioned, so it's been tough, right?
Yeah.
And one part about it, well, just our practice, I definitely think that if we just look at, well, just from Overwatch, but it's probably the numbers will be around the same if you're talking about your playtime. Let me see real quick. So, for example, when we want to reach the highest rank, I think on average, it's fine if we just gonna have around 2 hours, 30 minutes, or like 3 hours per day. Usually, it's just active practice, right? But you don't have to force yourself to always play for active practice, right? You just gotta be also having those hours for having fun, like you mentioned, where you're just able to maybe play with your other friends, maybe try to do something as well. Maybe I just would recommend maybe start with at least on average around 2 hours. For example, if you're talking about Overwatch, you want to reach GM, well, 2 hours of active practice on average per day is something you want to aim for. Here, I would say the skill set of Eternity is kind of equal to GM, probably. It just obviously I cannot be accurate with most of the numbers, but yeah, usually it's gonna be the case. It's gonna be how it works. So if you can start with 2 hours per day, this is good, but don't do it right away. I think don't just instantly go in queue for 2 hours straight in. Yeah, where you just always practice something. Maybe build on that slowly. Just start getting more and more games every day or every week. I think it's gonna be fine, to be honest. This is what I recommend. Maybe you can try this out, for example. What do you think about this?
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
slowly, mhm.
just slowly introduce myself back into the game.
Yeah, slowly increase playtime because in your case, and well, in general, to be honest, when you put too much pressure on yourself, I had that note. Your playtime before was 30 hours on per week, if that's what you've been saying at least. So it's been quite a lot, to be honest. And I
Mm.
did mention that there might be a problem if those 30 hours of playtime per week is only active practice. There's too much pressure, and we might also be burned out too. It's a little bit too much.
Uh,
Mhm.
my playtime back then was I just stay up like all night playing with like American friends,
Yeah.
but like hours. But it was more like a for fun, six stacking the whole time.
Mm.
Uh, that was like there was like no active practice involved there. That was
Mm. That's fine.
just having fun. And I think I moved a lot more into active practice. I think even when I'm having fun, I still like am practicing. Like when I mentioned I was like playing with my IRLs, right? And even though I'm on an
Mhm.
alt account in quick play and whatever, I was still like I was having fun and cracking jokes, and I was still like constantly thinking about the space I was controlling, the angle I was using, where I want to go
Yes.
next. Constantly reading what they're doing, waiting for like I was still like practicing really actively and still like having fun at the same time.
Yeah, and this is exactly the thing. Like, you might kind of be trapped because this is what exactly you're telling me. You actively think about all these things, but you don't have to. Having fun at this state, well, I'm just saying it. I'll just say active practice or like non-active practice. Okay, we can say this. Not have fun. Not non-active practice. It's mostly you just playing, but somehow you need to find routines where you exactly know that now you're in active practice state. Like, I don't know, some of the students, they've been just writing out the goals, they have stickers in front, something to remind them what they're focusing on, and when they have fun, maybe doing any other routines where you either, I don't know, you're another account. That's a good solution. I think it's been a good solution to me as well a lot of times, actually, when I was playing Overwatch actively. Also playing with your friends, yes, that's completely fine. But I also would usually suggest, if you can play other role, which is not your main, so you can differentiate between those roles, can be quite good too. So maybe something you can think about in general. Okay, so you can just write it down, all of that, and increase your time slowly too, potentially. See how that's gonna work out, because this here, what you're describing, this exactly might lead to burnout. Even though you have fun, yes, it's fun, and the game should be fun. Well, to be honest, even though you're actively practicing, it should be fun. Yeah, but there's a difference between active practice and non-active. Non-active, you should just play, ideally, and somehow just make sure this is not involves you actively putting in effort on whatever goal you working on, if that makes sense. Uh, does it make sense so far?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So we can just write it down as well. I would definitely say play on other account. And I would suggest play on completely different role. Yeah. Also can write it down too. Maybe you can even just try to learn new characters sometimes. Yeah, like you mentioned in the case of you tried that playing control, yeah, you played that Salak, different character, that's okay too. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yeah, I think this can be a good start. You can just let me know how everything is gonna be and still build the time. So it's gonna be increased to 2 hours later on, potentially, I think. Why not? Should be good. Should be good. Okay, well, we can potentially, if you want to, so yeah, as you mentioned, we can go over Mantis and Wiz. Yeah, those things you mentioned, timing, maybe tempo, that's what I got from you. And we can also talk about, if you want to, just mentality-wise, how to deal with all the situations where there's one more tool I can share, or if you want, we can just start with the gameplay right away. What do we want to start with today?
I think we can talk about the gameplay first, but the mentality stuff I
Mhm,
think is worth talking about like close to the end.
mhm.
I only have one VOD for this session anyway, so we definitely will have time to speak about it later.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, we can do that. Should usually take around 30 minutes or so to talk about some of that stuff. But yeah, even now, what we suggested can be pretty good already. Okay, I think this is fine. By the
Quick
way,
question.
mhm,
Uh, my like the offline VODs for this,
yes,
I've only done one so far,
yes, yes.
so I still have like three left over, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they're valid until yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, you still can send me those. That's completely fine. I actually found some of the info I can send to you regarding the playtime. I think that was pretty accurate. I like that, to be honest. That's what I would typically use as well. Let me see. Can I actually save this one? Yeah, I'm just gonna send you this image. I just need to get it from this spreadsheet real quick. Okay. Yeah, I think I will do that after the WOD. Okay. Actually, I can just make the screenshot of that too. So maybe you can take advantage of that too. Actually, the I think Spala made it just before, and I think it's pretty accurate, to be honest, with all the playtime,
It's
how much you
it's
get it.
this.
Yeah, this one here, it's pretty good, to be honest. In my experience, out of my spreadsheets, just all of the things we played with, the things we done with the teams and sessions in general, I think this is pretty accurate, to be honest. That's what my recommendations would be too. But this is good to just look at, to be honest, as well. All right, let's do the WOD. I see that code here. Okay, perfect. And do you remember anything specific about that game? Or just, well, you mentioned timing, tempo, but is there anything else? What stands out?
I don't remember anything super specific for that game.
Hmm?
I don't remember anything super specific. I remember we were stuck in spawn on second point for a little while. And I think on Mantis, I may not have like used like the lanes as much as I could have. I found I found I had to play with my team quite a bit.
Okay, okay.
On characters where like I still have issues like looking for lanes and finding the timing to move to the lane. Like I'll know what lane I want to move to and where it'd be perfect to play, but I can't find the timing to go there since like since the second like a lot of the time the second I go away, my tank just can't stop taking damage and just explodes. So, like, in the 2 seconds it takes for me to place a clone down on high ground and go TP up there on Loki, my Thor just dies. So but I think that's a team fight reading issue, which is why I like brought that
Yeah.
up. I think I brought that up that I had an issue with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like this tempo stuff. Yeah, I think it's usually a lot to do about preparations, just expecting what's about to happen. And a lot of times, if you prepare the good position as well, some of the pressure goes to you, so your tank can live and the other members can live. So might be on that, yeah, because sometimes when we rotate in the middle of the fight, but we gotta be active. Yeah, your tank is taking a lot of damage, and there's something else happening. I think you should be there, but maybe your preparations were not there. Who knows? Maybe it just might be the position and stuff. But yeah, do we start with this Invis first, or do we start with the Mantis?
I leave the spawn room on defense on Invisible Woman,
Yeah, yes, and
but
so
I don't think that was the right decision for the team comp. I think I should have been on Mantis since the start.
yeah, that's fine. So do we focus on the Mantis?
No, I'd like to look at both. I think my invis is like something I've struggled with recently. I was in a like small tournament, and I'm like maybe it's just how broken Loki is, or just my familiarity with the character.
Mhm.
But most of my time in this game is on invis, at least for this account. And yet, when we played, all the games on Loki that I played, I won, and all the games I played on someone else, especially invis, who are like my second most played character that tournament, we lost. So, and I've just been losing a lot playing invis recently.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Well, let's start with some of the basics first. I think, yeah, maybe let's start with, like we did on Loki a lot of times, we started with your position, which I think is quite important. What kind of positions you like to take, usually, as in this? What are you looking for?
I was looking to like with invis, I was trying to see with you can't really have like the active angles and like you can on Loki. Where I was just experimenting with that by playing the right side, but then realized the cover wasn't very good.
Mhm.
So I backed, so I was moving. And the second my Luna dies, I just start playing safe. I just play to live and start hugging the left wall.
Right. Why the right side wall is not good?
Uh, just the cover didn't feel good there, and
Why not?
uh, I don't know. Actually, I think I was wanting to play the right side, couldn't because for the damage or for the angle. I think the right side
Yes.
probably is like better, but I move out. I think I move out because my Luna's gonna die. I
Yes.
move to the left side just to play my life better.
Yes, but playing your life, what do you mean by that? Do you have any better cover here, or what is that about?
The it's harder to get an angle on me by playing the left side.
Right.
It's much harder.
Right. But why do you need that in the first place? Why do you don't want the enemy to have an angle on you?
Oh, because I would have been the only support alive, and Or we have an Ultron, but that doesn't mean anything. I would have been the only support with like decent burst healing alive. If I die, just we lose a team fight. So
Right. Mhm.
I just decided to play cover and play safe.
Right. Right. And I see here, it's just kind of what it feels like. I definitely can experiment with that too, right? But I think just starting out with the pressure itself, right? There's a lot of activity happening towards that left corner. This is okay. The enemy is coming through. You kind of do the damage, and I think it's just a lot of the attention you trying to heal this person, but it's kind of similar to what we discussed on Loki before. Why do we remove the opportunities for us to also do damage afterwards? Because this is really important too, right? You would still have cover. Maybe it's okay for us to, if it's needed really, to move to different cover, but the problem with this I have is your position is not allowing you to have as many options to damage the enemy. It's going to be similar to Loki's. We talked about the sharp sidelines. Remember this idea? You kind of always open up the corner. So instead of it being like this L-shaped corner, whereas in more favor of the enemy, they can constantly hide from the damage. I think it's really good if I have the sharp sidelines. For example, if I have the sideline like this, yeah, this is sharper. I can get the pressure on this corner, and what it does, because your shots are also, you can hit multiple people with that, right? They didn't change that still, right? So this can be pretty good whenever the enemy appears around the corner. You don't even have to directly hit them. You can just aim the general place and have the bigger damage output to farm ult charge and just keep applying the pressure to you. This is what it feels like. This is what I think. But your sightlines, just the difference from Loki is gonna be more mid-range. You don't have too long sidelines because of the how your shots work, right? You cannot hit from 2 miles away like you would do with the Loki so far. So this is what I think. What do you think? If you play the sharp sideline here, how
No, I
how that
agree.
feels? Yeah,
I
so
agree.
maybe we can just write it down in terms of the. Let's just say mid-range sidelines are fine. Okay, sharp sideline is also okay because it's just a matter of I'm trying to sneak in more pressure too. I don't remove the opportunities. Yes, this is fine, but this is kind of the same story as in any other game. Like this here, yes, you have more healing right now in Marvel Rivals. Probably they will change that. They actually trying to encourage. It seems that people don't need to stack. Just watch any of the abilities, like any recent hero, this Phoenix, it just actually punishes you for being stacked, right? Because of all these strikes, it's and the other characters too. To be honest, so map control is really important too. I think just how do we play this sidelines, being able to do the pressure and just set it up first off. Because now, who knows? If you're missing out on the pressure, I think it might be not the best. Also, obviously some small attacks you can do with this healing. I think you kind of hit it on the ground, yeah, it heals faster, stuff like that. But I think it's something you can figure out. But what it feels is just you not damaging too many people, like which appears behind the corner there. But that's fine. Okay, let's keep watching. We moving out, yeah, well, kind of getting chased there. Just trying to push this away. Oh, it's fine. I'm curious, how do you use your abilities? Maybe let's also talk about that, because I think all of this connected. We want to have the position, right? But then we also want to have the... Because you have the best position, you're able to use your abilities correctly. What do you think? What do you usually do? Maybe let's start with your E, for example. What do you think?
I tend to try use my abilities when my tanks want to go in.
Mhm.
Like I'm going to a different character here, but like on Luna, for instance, when my Emma wants to go in and use diamond form, I'll go in and I'll clap at the same time to add the pressure. On
Yes.
this, I hopefully use my orb and my pull when when my strange tries to push in.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So it's kind of just mostly the idea is trying to time the pressure with your tank. Yeah. I see. Is there anything else you're looking for when to use your E? Your pool?
Anything I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Probably scouting would probably just be the biggest thing as well. Like if they have a Spider-Man, for instance, I might like be using my push more for to peel for myself than I would be for using it on the front line.
Okay, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, so depending on the character, and I think you're definitely right, especially with the divers, once they go in after your backline or something, you can just mess the engagement up. Yeah, they use something, I can just try to displace them. But I just wanted to watch, did we use ability ever? And there's an opportunity for us to get more value if it did so, right? So let's see. Okay, you did use your shift, right? Your E is kind of still there, right? It's still there. There's another shift, which is good. It's kind of like a surgeon E in Overwatch, yeah. I'd say like it's been 30 seconds and our ability's been not used once, right?
Yeah, the push.
Yeah, and it feels kind of like the problem with the same problem as we mentioned about the damage, just the uptime. I want to have the sharp sideline, but at the same time, the uptime with your E. Yeah, because it's okay to wait for opportunity if you read certain cooldowns, like what the enemy is gonna do with that, but it feels that we wait for the opportunity too long and we're not opening up opportunities for our team to do damage towards somebody, if that makes sense, because a lot of times it's okay to think about your E as when the enemy does something, right? They commit it, and they did something like the pressure you mentioned. Well, Spider-Man goes in. Okay, enemy makes commitment. Enemy commits. You use your E. But I also think if your team is in the area to punish somebody, what if you displace some of the enemy, so you force them to use cooldowns by that? It's kind of works like Lucio Boop in Overwatch, right? A lot of times you can peel when the dive itself happened. For example, I can boop target away, but I can also be more active, which I think is even better. In my experience, it's always better to be proactive. So you can actually try to help out your teammates to do damage. Like, for example, as a Lucian or Overwatch, I would try to go top or something, try to boot people off the high ground. Yeah, try to deal with important angles. And the principle around those abilities, like when you displace an enemy, it's exactly that. You're trying to punish the most active pressure at all times. Yeah, so if enemy commits, that's okay. But what you can also do, yeah, let's just say if you're thinking about punish active pressure, okay, that's gonna be the general principle for us. If enemy commits, that's fine. But if you look at it, is there anybody else active? Let's just go back. Is there anybody else who is active who we can punish, or maybe our teammates can punish at the moment by using our
Uh,
E?
the
That's
Emma.
yeah, maybe like this ammo even at the front line. Okay, but what is based
Yeah.
on? Why do you decide that this ammo is
Well,
good?
I can't move the thing.
Mhm.
Everyone else like is playing hard cover right now, so no one else is gonna be my LOS. Maybe the
Mhm.
Psylocke I can like. Oh, wait, that's not. Wait, is that Psylocke? That's a Phoenix. Sorry,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Phoenix I might be
Mhm.
able to. I might be able to rip down at some point, but I think the Emma's probably the easiest since she can easily be shielded off by my strange, and in like 2 more seconds she goes like far to the right
Yeah, yeah. I think you're
and
exactly
becomes
right.
an easy pull
Yeah,
target.
I think exactly. So see, you just simply the target at the most frontline position. You'll typically see that commitment, like I mentioned before. Maybe Spider-Man goes in. Yeah, why they go in? What they did? They use cooldown, so you can punish that. Right now, there's no cooldown being used, but you still can punish somebody based on the triggers. Yeah, you think, okay, what the activity is based on. You can also look at the positional stuff too. I think this is really good. For example, I see this. Okay, fine. They're in the front line. I can already punish that. Maybe later on we can find that. I think there was Phoenix on the angle actually. I don't know if you. Let me see. I think they're gonna be there, or maybe. Oh, there was a Moon Knight probably on that top or later on. Yeah, you just kind of keep shooting. Yeah, and there's this Kibbles guy appeared, right? And this activity can be based on the position. This is going to be more dangerous. Usually, if you can deal with off angles, just like that, and try to pull them in or pull out depending on the situation, I think it's always nice, yeah, because you disable their damage and you allow your team to do something, right? And just something to add, because your E before, like this, is good. Yeah, they do commitment pressure after you. You kind of patient, yeah, push them away. But what do we do before as well with the proactivity? So you enable your team's pressure and your pressure as well. Stuff like that. Yeah, does it make sense?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can actually show you an example of that. We probably did the masterclass on that too before, so I can probably use some of the videos from there. I don't know if there's gonna be Sapi or anyone else. I usually been using support examples from Sapi a lot. But let's see, I'm just gonna show you this. Okay.
Saipa my goat.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
like, you have to use examples from Saipa, no? Like, the guy's the best.
Oh, well, definitely. I have most of the sessions recorded on support and even DPS, I think, from him. Yeah, this is good. Okay, this is exactly what we need. Those been from that support masterclass. It's been a while, but this principle still
Mm.
applies. It's crazy. Yeah, fundamentals always work. But, the idea is I'm trying to deal with the most active pressure, and I'm presenting opportunities for my team and just seeing that, well, activity, yeah, who is active, what is based on? Cooldowns, position. Cooldown's position. Let's look. So probably at the start you will not see too much commitment from the enemy with the cooldowns. So we might punish somebody's position. Yeah, maybe they will try to pull the tank or something. But later on, when there's opportunity, I think they will try to pay attention to anybody at the angles a little bit more, using somebody using cooldowns too. Like right now, the fight develops, kind of wait, patience, right? This guy commits. Why we disabling that? Because they use cooldowns. Yeah, they did something, and then we can just push them out. Yeah, because we don't want our teammates to just get kidnapped by this Wolverine. But then later on, let's see what they're gonna do afterwards. They wait. Yeah, they still gotta be patient. But then you can search for what's aggressive. Like this angle to me, it seems pretty oppressive. This might be something we gotta push. Or if there's a cooldowns, the Wolverine is still alive. I think if he's using that, then this is also something we can disable. Yeah, they kind of trying this out here. But then later on, you exactly see this positional stuff, I think. They will try to probably deal with this one. Just cooldown is reset. Yeah, nobody's using anything. Okay, I can just deal with that because this is the most aggressive position currently. So this is exactly going to be kind of you switching between those two. Position or cooldown commitment. Position or cooldown commitment. Like, I push this Luna towards us, so they're not able to apply as much pressure anymore. Yeah, I'm just disabling the off angle. Like, we can't do that Moon Knight in our replay. Later on, I'm just watching what's happening, yeah? Any cooldown commitment? Any positional commitment? Yeah, like right now... Oh, let me see what they did. I think they tried to... Did they use it on a front line there? Yeah, it seems that they kind of trying to... Yeah, they just... They actually just using the ultimate right away. They're not even committing this, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah.
Saipa, I noticed Saipa, like, he pretty much just rips his ultimate the second he gets it.
Yeah,
Especially on Invis.
yeah, I think it's
But
okay.
I think I know I agree with the like strategy of just the second you get it, especially if you're in a fight, just ripping that. Because a lot of the time he's the first person in the lobby to get an ultimate, and that can be fight winning.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people, they just stuck in trying to counter something, but what if you kind of open up with the ultimate, create a lot of chaos already? I think this is fine. Like, no watch, you would beat aggressively or trans aggressively even. It's okay, similar stuff. And
Yeah,
here,
if you have the win condition, then by all means you got to go for it.
yeah,
This is really good. This is really good lane usage.
yeah.
Really good cover
You see
usage.
how they're moving, right? Even
Yeah,
this,
that rotation was insane.
and this is first season. They're really good at those fundamentals. A lot of people would just move back towards the spawn, but I can still sit here on the off angle and I provide the mid-range value and have the uptime. By the way, I want you to see the sharp sidelines thing, what we talked about, just going backwards, okay? They will not play right side. They want to open up the sideline for the sharp pressure. Okay, so, well, the first, it's kind of, well, they seem to take a damage, so they start moving, there's nothing happening, but then later on, you see this pressure from the right side, you kind of want to open up the corner this way, so you damage multiple people, and they exactly shoot the corners through. Yeah, it's kind of like you would, I know I make this analogies from Overwatch, but yeah, it's really similar to, like, 5 strike in the corner as Ryan, or shooting the as surgeon the corners as well. You just do more damage, generally speaking, because you don't expect to get kills, but you expect to build a little charge this way because the enemy is going to be peeking the corner. If they're not peeking, then, well, you just win you can push up and win the space. But this is really good. Just, if possible, try to open up a little bit more. Yeah, just kind of use corners. Yeah, they actually move into the left a little bit more to open up even more, so it's mid-range. Slightly more into the open, yes, but it's okay-ish because you have this covers around, and just a little bit difficult. There's no elsewhere to be if you want to support our team while shooting those guys too. So it's okay. But yeah, at all times, seeing both your team, enemy, all the time, all the time. Yeah, do you have any questions about all of that so far?
No, that makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
okay. So something to start with right away. Really good, I think. Okay, let's just get more examples of that. What we can be doing. The uptime with the sightlines, maybe your E as well. This seems a little bit off, yeah. Your shift, well, definitely can also discuss that, but it's okay because you had the uptime and you've been using that constantly, that active angle, whatever is going towards the main, you try to help them out. That is fine. Yeah, your shield is really good as well to just disable these guys. Okay, let's start with this right away. What do you think about your position?
I think here,
Yeah.
if I have double jump, I should just play the right side.
Mhm.
I could also be playing. I can't really play high ground here because of. Mm,
The pointed there, maybe. Mm-hmm.
I probably could play high ground here, just top left, and play behind this that little wall.
Well,
But
if
it'd be
you...
hard to see my strange there. But
Yeah. Well, what position gets you to the sharp sideline at this point? Just
oh, the
based
right
on...
side under the bridge.
Yeah, the right side is okay, right? Just if you're looking at this principle here, of course there might be some other things, but from this here, the high ground itself is good, but it might be harder to keep up the uptime with shooting those corners a little bit more. So top is okay, I think, top right, but also bottom right is fine too. Yeah, depending on where you can get. You're just trying to set up there first, so it's easier for you to apply pressure, because like now, yeah, sure, it's okay, support Doctor Strange. Those guys in reality, if they extend their pressure to here, I think it's gonna be really difficult, and they don't need to. The point is over there. Usually the first fight is gonna take place right under the... well, not even under, it's just like this section here, and then it takes place like in the middle where you are, and then the third fight is gonna be somewhere around this choke point here. Yep. So you can try to take the sharp side on the right, and I think that's gonna be fine. Yeah, let's look at your E. Let's see, is there anybody we can punish, maybe? You see, this is exactly... I think you're just missing out on the opportunities there, too. Imagine if you entire time we're playing the right side now. Is there anybody we can punish with the E? What do you think? By looking at it. Even maybe
Probably
before.
still the Emma.
Probably just Samuel is fine. Yeah, there's nobody else. I just think just go for it, really. Yeah, they really hard pushing, they're really aggressive. Force out the diamond form. It's completely fine. Without diamond form, you might kill them later. Who knows? I think this is really good, to be honest, especially against those tanks, which they don't have too many defensive abilities. Maybe, well, it's let's put it this way: they cannot sustain as comfortably like Doctor Strange, for example. They can always shield themselves. Or I think Magneto, they also have a lot of sustain too. But as this kind of tank, it's kind of interesting if you can just displace them. They don't have any ability to compensate with that too, so it's fine if I just push them in, to be honest. I think you can definitely look for that more. And just the opportunities we missing, I think, because other than that, your Rusher on just watching the active angles from your team, this is perfect. You see, okay, this guy goes in. You actually heard that they probably critical, they're going up, they're trying to be active. You pay attention to that, pay attention to this. Here, Emma, sorry, the Penny as well. This is really good. I think the awareness and carries on from the Loki probably too, yeah? Active angles, you always deal with those. You see, the E is just sitting there all the time.
Yeah, that's a battle. That was a horrendous. So I remember that.
Yeah, it might be not easy to stabilize. Well, you know that. Okay, that's fine. Let's watch what's gonna happen afterwards. What do we got? Pushing through, yeah. And from here, probably need to search for opportunities again. I think just try to really look to punish anything. I think this entire time, see how long it is AoE. It's just
Yeah.
this is entire time, right? Finding perfect opportunity. They don't have dive comp either. They would have, then it's understandable. Maybe you can try to punish them after the dive more, but even against the dive, I think if you have good sightlines where you can punish divers and just displace them, like in case of Sap, I know it's maybe not the best example, but Wolverine, they also take in those short range flanks a lot of times. You can displace that earlier, so they're not able to get on your backline members. Like we saw with them, you just pay attention to them a lot, and that's gonna be similar to if there's Black Panther on your backline or maybe Salak on your backline. I think you can definitely do that too. But yeah, I'm just straightforward here. I think sitting there, you guys trying to stabilize. It's fine. Let's see, what do we got? Are you... Yeah, still on Riz? Okay.
Yeah, I don't stop for Mantis until defense. Or attack even, the other way around.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, what do you think about the E here?
I try to push Mantis off the map, and the Emma.
Yeah. Just kind of try to displace them there a little more. Yeah, this can work, I think, right?
Well, it also just, you know, it shows off at least a bit of the space that Mantis had to take. Waste about 1 or 2 seconds of the Mantis' ult off of...
Yeah, so this works, right? But why it works is because they're exactly doing something active, right? We talked about the cooldowns, if the enemy's investing something, but even ultimates, if they invest that, I think if you deny the aggression because it works like push and pull, right? They trying to push in, you need to stabilize a little bit, so if you can push them away, usually, I think it's fine. Unless the ultimate is really easy to punish. Yeah, maybe you can easily kill somebody. You can maybe pull them in. But in this case, I think this is good. This is exactly what you need to look for. But you don't have to always wait for this, right? You can just try to also search for other opportunities. Like here, okay, our cooldown is in 4 seconds. Next time. Just where do I go next time? This feels a little bit... a little bit complicated because it's just how open it is, I think. What do you think it should be at this point? It just... This feels really dangerous, I think. It's just...
Yeah, I think I should have gone... I think I should have gone right here and played around this pillar on my right side. Would have probably been best.
Yeah, I think this definitely might be okay. You're exactly going to be shooting those corners more. If you want a general uptime, this is fine. I think it's just 50-50 where they're going to hide, left or right, but the generality is the enemy will try to go towards the area where it's closer towards their spawn. So their spawn route looks like this. It's turning left, so turning left for them is faster if they want to kite later. So usually we'll have more uptime if you hit this left side, I think. You're just going to be keep shooting the corner, but to do that, if they go left, you know that, turn right. If they go right side, then turn left. So turning right for them would be, for example, here. Yeah, if they go right behind this corner, and then you would go left this way or something. This could be a good example, I think. It's really scary, to be honest. You don't know who's there too. I think he's just gonna be really dangerous. What's gonna happen? Alright. Now actually just get in a more safe position from here. Okay. That's alright. It's alright. Maybe you can place the slider forward. It's understandable. Okay, you guys gonna stabilize, and at this point, I think you can just keep up the uptime. It feels, well... It's just with your position, if the enemy is backing off, where should it be at this point? What do you think? Should it be just backing off here as well, playing here, or...
We should walk forwards. We have a one-man advantage. We should clean the fight up.
Yeah, just go forward and look for opportunities with your E. And this is where you can be more forgiving with your E. You can do whatever you want almost. You can try to, even if you decide to get punished, if they will try to punish you, you also have your escape ability and the teammates are around you. So this here can potentially just lead to you getting another kill. Who knows? You kind of pretend to be weak slightly. Yeah, you have an advantage, but you pretend to be weak. It's okay. You can move forward. You can just try to take space. It's really good. Yeah, like, who knows, maybe this Mantis extends the pressure. You can also push them in, or maybe try to, I don't know, push them off the map, if this is possible, to... Really good. Just playing a little bit too safe, uptime. Just go in and use your shift as well, probably. I think we'll be fine. But now we just kind of waiting for the pressure to happen. Yeah, like once they start the pressure, then it's okay. Start using your shift, you'll be fine. Okay, we talked about the E in the sidelines. Let's maybe add another layer with your shift. I think this is going to be important. I think a lot of people also struggle with that, but the general idea is if there's a commitment, and you know what commitment is based on, yeah, we talked about mostly positional commitment and maybe cooldowns as well, you need to start using your abilities. Shift is exactly punishing more positional commitment, I think. It kind of works like Maywall in Overwatch or the Surgeon E in Overwatch as well. The E, I mean, yeah, your shift before the fight, like the sphere before the fight, is fine to build ult charge, right? But when the fight happens, it's really important to see how you use that here. And I think my problem is the enemy starts the fight. We don't have our E, our shift, your sphere here. And because of it, you cannot punish this positional commitment here. So it's partially because the uptime before was not on point. Yeah, like we could be pushing up and maybe saw this early sphere. Yeah, just, I don't know. They turned the corner here. Yeah, just saw it in. Yeah, it's fine. I think I'm just gonna write down your, let's call it shift, okay? Use your shift. You can use it in a poke phase. As a poke tool, it's fine. But then afterwards, when this brawl phase happens, you need to place it like a Maywall or just try to separate somebody. So I'll explain that. So, for example, here, when the enemy starts walking, ideally, you want to just try to cut somebody off and split them in a way. So how it works is you're trying to hit the place where they're going. Let's say they're looking to go through this area, and if I place the sphere over here, and this guy's committed, then they have no choice but either try to commit fully, go forward, which leads to them taking damage, or they will try to go back and take damage from the sphere. And also sphere, it's cutting off those other members too, because they will try to heal that person a little bit. So kind of trying to separate this area, and just make sure once they walk, yeah, treat it like a Groot wall, for example. Yeah, Groot wall is like a May wall, to be honest. It's just separate Groot wall here. I think that would be okay wall, to be honest, because it's trying to split somebody from here, and those guys are not able to provide any damage, pressure, healing towards those guys, so they might lose more resources. This is how you can think about that. And see, now we don't have our shift, yeah, because they use that as a poke tool. So this can be also something you can think about. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. This idea, commitment happens. Yeah, they walk forward, they cross area, and then you try to use it. It's just exactly for the area where most of your team is able to do stuff to. Just in here. Does it make sense, or?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think, even on Saipe, you probably will not see that the perfect. I think it's season 1 with this, but if you watch any like high rank surgeon or May, I think you will really relate to that. Yeah, you can really watch any surgeon from Overwatch, same idea. You're just trying to damage that area once they start walking, so they actually gonna take damage if they walk backwards, or just, you know, you can also try to scare the backline a little bit. You'll see them do that here probably too. I think initially, let's just go back. Initially, they're gonna be using this sphere as a poke tool, like we said. I think it's fine. Yeah, like when the fight is about to start, well, it's okay. I can just throw it in. But when the brawl phase starts, then you need to think, okay, what positional commitment enemy makes? So I can try to just place this shift behind somebody and kind of place it like a wall or something. Yeah, so there are also cases like this. This can be an exception, where if you know it's easy to get a kill, you can use your sphere whenever too. Like, you can force something big. I think this is really good. Like, for example, this person gets really low, I can throw the sphere in, maybe there's a bigger chance you can get a kill. I think this is also fine. But generality is that if they start walking, you will see that sphere is being used. Yeah, for example, now, let me see. Like this. Yeah. So the enemy starts walking, like this guy, he started walking. It might be not as clear, the quality as well, but I place it like a wall here. I'm cutting off this guy. If he walks back, he takes a lot of damage. And at the same time, I'm cutting off this person, somebody in the back here. So this works. You kind of place this sphere slightly behind somebody you're trying to hit. You don't have to hit direct, but just slightly behind somebody. Yeah. And then this guy's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty scary for him to walk forward. And I think he's not even walking towards the sphere, right? He's walking on the left side, so it prevents him. It's just gonna lead to longer rotation, and maybe he's gonna take more damage, for example. So this is really good. Okay, doesn't make sense. This example too.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those. But this is what I think so far. Okay, we still have some time. I'm just thinking maybe we'll look at your Mantis from this point, or...
Yeah, please.
Okay, we can do that. Right, let's take a look. So it's gonna be on attack mostly?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with that.
Energy flows stronger. Shake it up.
Right, well, what about the Mantis in general? You feel like it's just difficult to read the tempo of the fight, like you said so far, or is there anything else?
I feel like I struggle to like frag out. Like she's a very like frag out kind of character, and I struggle to get like I think I had the lowest kills on my team here, which may be like partly because I was on invis, but I think I fall behind on Mantis too. Well, I think I get more kills when I play Loki than I do when I play Mantis. More finals too.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Well, to frag out, what kind of positions you need on Mantis?
More aggressive positions. Here, I'm just trying to play them like the sharper angle.
Yeah.
Trying to use this tree for cover.
This is good.
I probably could have rolled out on the high ground, but right now I'm just gonna poke out and then as my tank, I think I only have one tank right now. Yeah, as my tank walks forwards a bit more, eventually take that like use that like half wall you see in front of me. I can use that as a staircase, and I'd use that to get to the high ground, jump up and contest anyone up there.
Yeah, this can also work. I think you're definitely right. If it's possible, trying to take those extreme angles is fine, especially in triple support. Yes, you have Ultron. They will like to take angles as well, to be honest. I would probably love them if they can just flank with this person here, the Torchman, go all the way right side. This would be really, really good. But your angle can be just still pretty aggressive too. You have Luna Snow, and in reality, you don't need to support too many people. You're just gonna be mostly supporting, I don't know, maybe this a little bit more, and actually choosing the angle like this guy I think is not too bad, right? So yeah, probably you're right. I think the possession on the up left, especially if you know this info, just who's gonna take this most aggressive angle on my team, because you can damage boost that. I think this is really good. Yeah, because now who do we decide to damage boost? With damage boost, yeah, it's on one of this, it's on those guys, it seems, right?
Keep it on torch was like the biggest thing.
Yeah. So, and see, this is what you will look at quite a lot, I think. Just look at the aggressive positions your team takes. Yeah, we talked about that. If anybody takes off angles, I think you can try to displace that with your invis. Yeah, you can try to just use the... in here, it's going to be the same, but it's just going to be about your teammates too. Just look at the activity as well later on. So, like, from here, I think ideally your... damage boost whatsoever, it should be on somebody like this guy, but to be able to do that, you need the position as well. So probably the rotation here is really, really good right away. There's no downside. You have options. If they don't go here, well, it's on them. Maybe if somebody will decide to take this angle, you can try to support that too. But at least you try to form the greatest angle possible. Just sharp sideline while having high ground, I think. Why not? You can take that. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is a really good one. There's so many things you can do. I think Mantis is just such a good, in terms of carrier potential character. You can definitely do a lot of damage, but you also support dealing damage quite well as well. And there's sleep ability too. They don't have a mobility, but the sleep can just allow them to survive as well, if somebody will go on you. I like the sharp sideline here, though. This is really good. You just potentially high ground if you can take that, too. It definitely feels with the positioning, it's much more comfortable. From here, you need to decide to open up the sideline again. So you kind
Yeah.
of play this L shape corner. You just need to. Oh yeah. So what was that?
Well, where I should play, you see this like this like staircase looking wall near the Luna?
Yeah, yeah, it's right
Yeah,
there.
so what I should do, you can actually just go up there. I should just climb that and play on the bridge and play on high ground.
Yeah, in theory, but in the current state of the fight, do you need that even? What do you think?
No, I think in the current state of the fight, if I like get off because I'll be rotating mid fight. If I like take my foot off the brake on the pressure on the enemy team at like any point, like my ammo probably dies because it would
Yep,
take me
yep.
like a couple seconds to get there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think you have this big advantage too, so just keep using that. You know, why we take those good positions in first place? Because it gives you an advantage. But if you already have that, then you don't have to spend this entire time. I think it's good if you just open up the sideline, but don't play this L-shaped corner, maybe open up it this way. I think this is okay. Yeah, you're gonna be shooting the tank, maybe you can shoot the support there as well, but I think this is fine. This is better, just more opportunities. So you're kind of not stuck in this uncomfortable angle. I think you need to open up with the Luna angle. Yeah, like this. Just right away. Just do that. You can also take advantage of the shields whenever ammo frost, maybe using that to, yeah, the start applying pressure. This is really good angle. Just get there right away. Sharp sideline. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also wonder where this guy is. I think they've been taking top here. Yeah, something for you to be aware of as well, if you can, I think. Yeah, we can also try to support that with damage boost because they're more aggressive. I think this is immense value. But it depends on your line of sight too, right? Because from here, I'm not sure if you can damage boost them. Maybe, if you go here, maybe it's possible. But this is definitely worth to pay attention to because they taking off angles, exactly. And we need to support this positional commitment more, I think. Yeah, that's good stuff. I think by watching somebody like KG, probably Sape also got some play on the Mantis too, but I remember KG been playing pretty good Mantis too. I think they do that quite well, and just supporting the most active pressure whenever it's possible. So maybe,
Yeah, I have some. Well, they're not VODs anymore because it was last season. But I have
yeah.
like I played in a tournament against a like former contenders player, and he was on Mantis, like farming the whole tournament. So it might be worth looking back at that and just seeing how he positions
Yeah,
playing Mantis.
it can be, I think. Yeah, let me see. Maybe I also have some examples too. I probably have something saved. Okay, good examples, Smart Rivals, and we need Mantis, right? Let's see. I think I probably got something. No, there's no Mantis, it seems. Maybe there's no. Yeah,
Maybe even like yeah, even without, I think Saip's probably got one or two videos on Mantis, and
yeah. There was a video 100%. I did save it, but then it kind of disappeared. I think it's just it's not there anymore. It seems it's okay. It's okay though. Well, if you want, I can also watch one of the whatever you can send me, but it's fine to be honest. You can still, if this makes sense here, I think that's okay. Maybe you can also watch it in the someone like KG or I don't know anybody else. That's fine. Yeah, I think it's all good. Okay, I see that we also done most of the time. It was most of the time this session too. Do we wanna go over some mentalities things as well with you with the rest of the time, or do we just keep with the replay?
I can keep on the replay here because this like I start having struggles on like yeah, I think it's said to keep looking at the replay here. I think with
That's okay.
mentality,
Yeah, I think it's okay if you start with the things we talked about right at the start. I think it's fine. Maybe think about just how do you approach it will be good. Maybe you can just take a more comprehensive look later. It's fine. It's usually gonna take around 30-40 minutes to go over a few things. I have a bunch of docs I can send you later too, if you need those, of course. even some good documents from the collegiate teams I've been working with. They just because they have sport teams as well. There's some studies, some dogs they use and some materials. I mean, which can be useful for the players, like when you're playing under pressure, when it's just difficult for you to maybe deal with your teammates, or just how you treat the competitive environment too. All of those concepts are related, to be honest. You can always watch how even in sport they manage that too. This is really good. All right, we capture the point from here, and see your position. This is fine. Moving up, taking space.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
This is a great angle in general, it feels, and it's also sharp sideline too, because we're able to just open up the pressure here. I think this does quite a lot. What do you think about your... This is F ability, I think. Yeah, this... yeah, basically...
The self-damage boost.
Yeah, the self-damage boost. When do you usually use that?
I try to cycle that just on myself, just permanently.
At what times you usually use that as well? Just whenever, or...
Well, whenever I'm like gonna be shooting, right? So if I'm like kiting a fight and I need to keep people alive, and I need all the flowers I can get to keep people alive, then probably. But anytime I'm going in or my team's going in, I'd use it. And even if I'm just taking the angle, anytime I'd be shooting or applying pressure, I have it on. Which would be almost the entire game, like probably 80% of the game or more. I'd try to keep it on myself.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what you gotta do more. Just maybe treat this ability as, because you have that, you can take more aggressive positions like you do here. But I just think try to make sure you find the best time. If you have the best position possible and you use that ability, make sure you're able to put up the pressure consistently, right? Because, like, for example, now it feels, well, you use that ability, but then there's a downtime, right? But why is that the case? Well, it feels that your angle is really good. Yeah, so if you enable this angle, works just fine, but how to remain this angle for longer and make sure you take advantage of your this self-damage boost a little bit more. What do you need to do in this case? So right now it feels there's some downtime, right? Because you're dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprising, I don't have it on. Like, there you go. I do it there, a bit late.
This is what I think in general. If there is a decent amount of pressure you can do, it's kind of similar to this and with your E usage. I think if there's a best position possible, then let's try to use the ability. Maybe you can wait for some pressure on you too, but there's been enough pressure on you right now, so it's fine if you go and do something. Yeah, you self-damage boost yourself and just push the enemy off, and this way you remain this high ground while maybe they're more scared to use theirs. Maybe use cover a little bit more like this left, probably also walk backwards a little, but yeah, this is a little bit awkward space, to be honest. It's sometimes a little bit open, but yeah, any of the walls, and then you have the good space. I think this is all right, but I just think that it's kind of similar to this shift as well. You definitely want to also get back when the actual fight happens. It's just like, why? It might be fine now, because you probably will get it by the time when the fight happens. But yeah, it's also just how aggressively we can be before the fight and the poke phase. Like now, you have the best position possible, brawl phase starts, on this pretty decent angle, I think. They start pressuring you. Yeah, you can maybe sleep, you can use your F ability later. Kind of keep holding that. It's okay for the brawl phase, I think. But it definitely feels there's some downtime with that, though. I'm not sure. Well, in this brawl phase, what it could have done... And see, like that poke phase, yes, use that ability 100%, probably. You had really good position already. What about here? What is the best way?
I fell down. Yeah, if I'd have managed to cross that bridge and be able to play the high ground on the right side, I think that would have been wrong. But I felt there was a hole in the bridge, so...
Yeah, I think this is how you want to approach it, probably. Just try to get the even better position later. They will try to pressure you back and you use your F. Just so you self-damage, yeah. That's unfortunate, but yeah. I think you probably... Can you jump from here? I think you can, if you just
I
go
probably
this
could have
way.
made it back on
Yeah.
if I'd have gone left, but
Yeah. Well,
that
probably
was
possible.
more of a I didn't want to sit around and try to figure out how I could stay up when I could
Yeah.
just drop down and keep shooting and use. I had
Yeah.
my ultimate anyways to push in, so
Ultimate's fine. I think being proactive with that, why not? Okay, from here, just try to open up the sidelines. Maybe, like, instead of it being you kind of in the open all over the place, you got the space. I think maybe taking advantage of that later, just lean towards this left corner is not too bad. So it makes it easy as well. The enemy will try to hide around the corner. One of those corners, probably. They will try to move there, and just something to anticipate. Yeah, the defensive route, right? I think this is completely fine, just uptime. I'm constantly shooting something in the backline, but this requires really good position in general. Like in here, there's more L-shaped corner again. Yeah, eventually you need to pull back, of course, but this is exactly what your F ability is for too, because you take those more sharp sidelines that go on you, you can use your F to try to stay alive there, because you have the big damage output. Now it's kind of sitting there. Yeah. So the basics for us is just you get the best proxy position possible. Like you do in Loki, a lot of times you get to those positions, and then afterwards you are thinking about what will pressure you, and then you use your resources to just help you to stay alive and push the enemy back. I think this is really good. Okay, we sneak in. That's alright. Let's see what's gonna happen from here. Okay, just shoot those guys. Well, it's a little bit unfortunate. Well, what do you think about this one?
I think it's probably avoidable. I think maybe here, rather than like playing that angle, I could have played more like if I'd gone to the right a bit and played for the backline instead. So we'd get some backline pressure going, because we're all frontline pressure and I'm piling on top of that.
Where do you go on the backline? So you mean like just
I
literally
don't. I
place
would.
it here?
Behind that little half. Not even there. Just behind that little half wall, where the Luna is, right, or where I am. Just going like 5 steps to the right and playing like behind that little wall there.
Okay.
Gives me a lot like it's better angle on the Luna,
Okay.
or a safer angle on the Luna, and I can still move around to the health pack, move to the tanks, and still like play around there.
Yeah, I think might work. It just, to me, as long as you maintain more mid-range sideline, I think it's gonna be alright, to be honest. You can be quite decent, because the problem here is they actually get really, really close, and that's why it's easy for them to punish. For any projectile character, if they will cast the ability at the short range, it's pretty hard for you to do anything against it. They have the travel time, right? And if you have the distance, then it's easily avoidable as well, yeah. Obviously, watch for the angles too, so you can pressure these guys before, so it's not all frontline pressure, like I said. And your F ability, probably, I think you get the speed boost too, right? There's slight speed boost when you use this damage boost.
No. Just damage boost and passive health. There's no speed
Damage
boost.
boost, 20, so it's 12%. And yeah, this one here charges. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's no speed. Okay, that's fine. And regardless, you provide a lot of damage output this way, so you can just push the enemy back. I think still a good source to protect yourself a little bit more. Well, that's okay. Let's watch what's gonna happen next. Yeah, from here, you guys. Just trying to get through. It becomes a little bit chaotic, though. You need to try to sustain somehow. Just constant damage from there. I think probably still finding options what you can do with this in terms of angles. I'm not sure. Yeah, what was that?
So I didn't do a very good job of keeping my Ultron alive. In the Luna roll, I could have healed him. Even though my Luna was on damage boost, I could have healed my Ultron. And again, like when he's ulting here, I could have. I don't know if I damage boosted him, but I definitely healed him.
Mm.
God, I wish someone else shot that Phoenix, so it would have died.
Yeah,
It's like 1 HP.
I think they're really aggressive. They just by themselves, no follow-up, so might punish that too. Oh, feels kind of. Alright, let's see how the fight develops. Yeah, it just feels that this ability is really sitting there. It's uncomfortable. I think you can just be more aggressive somehow. I like this
The F
position.
ability, or
I mean, it's not just use that, but kind of go somewhere. So there's a reason why you use that, because the enemy makes a commitment towards you. Like we said, with those more sharp sideline, aggressive angles, yeah, better backline pressure, right? It's not just like use it here, right? But what if my team is here, and then you find the best angle available to you? So you can force the enemy to go on you, kind of, and then you can use that, yeah, to just damage them, push them away. Yeah, that's what I think. If your team is here, well, what are the possibilities? Where can you go? Of course, you have your ultimate soon, so maybe that is something you can take advantage of, just push with the rest of your team. But honestly, even though you by yourself, I don't think it's so bad. You can kind of live on the angle, like a good example can be if you watch somebody on Zenyatta in Overwatch. There was a good player, I probably know them too. Their name is Jijonic. They've been really good Zenyatta all the time, most of the time. Even at the pro play, they would just use their ultimate to try to sustain the angle, which I think is not bad if you can force a lot of things to happen and your shots on point, yeah, divert the attention. So maybe something for you to think about too. Yeah, just your ability, the damage boost, and then what you can do is ultimate afterwards. So from here, what do you think? What are the options? What are the positions you can take?
Where am I? I'm far right. Yeah, I should walk forwards. I can probably take I can either take the building where my Ultron and Torch are right now, like just push on the
Yeah.
Phoenix, or I could play where that Fantastic is going off to now. I could also set up over there and wait for my team to walk in, because I think my team's gonna go through the building
Yeah.
from
Okay.
the bottom floor.
Well, what if you even will just go around the building, this left side or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Where the Mr. Fantastic is going, I could have gone through there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because this is what I think you gotta do more. A sharp sideline, yes, but even though you don't have a lot of mobility, you have a lot of burst. Like as in West, you will not take those more flank angles like you can do in Mantis, because as in West you don't have too much mobility and you don't have too much burst, but as Mantis you have a lot of burst. So I definitely think you can find more options to do that. Just take those more 90 angles in a way, you push and try to just go on this off angle, and then afterwards something will happen towards you. Probably you can use your ability, F ability, this one, and you can survive. Obviously your sleep darts too, those are important too, just the sedate ability. Yeah, I think if you watch anybody, probably there's gonna be a really good just to see how they are, like maybe KG or anybody else. I don't know, maybe there's like Awkward or something. Anybody, honestly, on rank to GM, they're probably really good with the soft angle stuff, I think. Now I'm gonna see, maybe just to get us example, like 90 angles.
I haven't watched an Awkward video in a while, but it might be worth revisiting his Mantis 90 GM.
Yeah, it can be good. I think he's usually good with angle stuff. He's really good with positional stuff, honestly. Some of the advice I would argue, well, there are definitely some points I would disagree with. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like, there's a reason I don't watch him much anymore. Like, I disagree with a lot of the stuff he says, but I mean, his gameplay is legit, at least.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of good stuff. I think you can always learn from anybody. I think he is really good at just emphasizing this angles idea, especially. You look at most of the gameplay, see those 90 angle most of the time from him. I don't know, let's just choose any random game, for example. Yeah, this can be... Okay, I want to make sure... Give me a second. There's
Yeah,
no...
like he's already on the flank. Like
Yeah.
the enemy spawns to the left here. Like
Yeah.
he's already on the flank.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of mostly you see that regarding the aim too. It's gonna be a lot of benefit out of those 90 angles because it's also easier for you to aim from this perspective. Like if the enemy is trying to strafe against this angle, in theory, they go left and right. It's gonna be like a line for you, and this is always gonna be the case if it's possible to try to take the 90 angle as well. This is a control. Yeah, they're actually flanking here too. Yeah, they go in, even flank there, and then see the enemies does nothing to them, so they hold their ability now. But if the aggression starts, they use their ability afterwards. I think they will probably will start to do something with that. You just they also need that. Make sure there's aggression towards them. Should be okay. Yeah, this yeah, to just to damage boost themselves exactly. Yeah. We keep the damage a lot of times. Just trying to even flank is not bad too. We'll see. I don't know. Any map. Maybe let's choose any not control. Maybe escort. Yeah, let's just go back a little bit. I don't know which one. Well, this might be it. Yeah. Yeah, the first point you need to capture, but yeah, this is also good off angle, 90 angle. Later on, probably you'll see that their team's pushing through. Oh, yeah, when they well, we got to the end. the
Very short game.
Yeah,
Didn't
that
even
was
get
a
to the.
really short game for sure. Okay, well, it might be here. So probably once they get the staggers, they will try to go on the 90 angle somewhere. Just play main is fine for now because you have the advantage. So just keep pushing. Okay, from here, keep pushing as well. Yes, a damage boost themselves, and now again 90 angle. Yeah, you see where the team is? They're here, and I'm right there. I think you just make sure those guys go in on you a little bit more. It's always nice. Yeah, you use your self damage as well, and just go pressure. Yeah, delete those lobbies most of the time with this. Sometimes even flanking can be okay too. Yeah, maybe something to start. Just do a little bit more of this stuff too right away. Might be good. Well, do you have any questions about any of that?
Those documents about the like mentality stuff.
Well, it depends on what you want. There are some of the just dealing with stealth, dealing with anxiety. The collegiate one is just for me because they're my notes. Not sure if it's like too relevant.
No,
That's why
that's
it's usually relevant to if you
yeah. Like
when we do the session, then I kind of go through this bullet points and
yeah,
I just
that's fine.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind. Mhm.
Yeah, my issue is more like reluctance to play the game just out of like not even like an anxiety thing or whatever, just out of a genuine just not wanting to play. Boredom, I guess, maybe.
Yeah,
Would be the best way to describe it.
How you phrase that? Can you repeat that again?
Like a boredom, like
Yeah,
reluctancy to play the game just out of
yeah. This exactly is might be one of the signs of just burnout, right? Because you maybe invested a little bit too much. It just depends on the things. I can send you the form actually. Let me see, but we'll need separate session for this. There's a burnout form. You can fill this out, and we can kind of see the degree of how this feels. Let me find it. This one, yeah, this one is really good. Okay, inventory. Okay, this is not only for competitive. Yeah, it's like for work, whatever. I will just send it to you. Give me a second. Maybe you can take this one, and then we can interpret the results. I have the spreadsheet for it. I can send something to you. Give me a second. Yeah, like this here. I think you should be able to see everything. Yeah, burnout inventory. Yeah, this one. Mm-hmm. This is good. You can just fill this out. We can look at the results and use the spreadsheet to interpret and see what we can start with. What are the things we can go over with you a little bit more, just based on the materials I have as well. And what stuff we went over before with the other players. Does that sounds good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, you can fill this out later. It's all good. Okay, let's summarize what we went over with you, though. What are the things we talked about with you today? So you tell me.
Okay, well, summarizing, we went over active angles a lot, or sharp angles on Invisible Woman. Playing that. On Mantis, we spoke about again like angles and flanking. Those are the key focuses. So angles.
Yeah, okay. Once we have those good angles, what about your ability usage?
Yeah. So say cooldown usage, just using the push more on Invis and the self damage boost on Mantis. And then more constant uptime with abilities. When using the pull or the push, just like using it to disrupt the enemy on the off angle a lot as well.
Mhm.
Best.
Yeah, I think this is really good. Yeah, this is nice. So trying to disrupt their pressure. Yeah, let's say punish active angles. Okay, it can be that, and you can also enable active angles, but it's just mostly for Mantis. I know we didn't focus on that much, but just slightly look after off angles more. I think generally what we're trying to damage boost like our Torchman or something is fine, but also look for anybody else who's taking off angles, because sometimes your Torchman might be in the main, like it was the case at the first point, but you see the Namor taking off angle, which can be even more beneficial, but the big part is what your position as well to enable that. That's why it starts with position, and then after that you can enable those people a little bit more. Okay, so it's kind of both just this damage boost stuff and your pool E usage for both Invis and Mantis, kind of similar ideas. And just watch for activity, watch for positional cooldowns activity will be easy, and your shift for Invis Woman. What do you need to do with that?
Use it to cut people off.
Mm-hmm.
Use it to cut people off when they so they're forced to either walk back into the orb
Yeah.
or stay forwards at a position where we can just collapse on them.
Yeah. This makes sense. Exactly. And this self damage boost ability for Mantis, kind of try to take angle, enemy commits, and then you can try to use that, to be honest, and just try to enable yourself, enable your pressure so you can push the enemy back afterwards. Will be fine. Yeah, I think this sounds good. Yeah, and definitely similarities with Sharp Sideline. So just with Mantis, we gonna be taking more of a flanky angle, so like 90 angles as well. Yeah, this here. I think that's it. Do you have any questions?
Hmm. Question.
Yeah.
Let me think. How much should I focus on like the healing and damage flower like uptimes on Mantis? Because I feel like I could have done that a lot better in at least in that VOD. But I think
Yeah.
in general as well, I have issues with that.
Yeah, well, in general, I think this is good stuff to focus on. I would definitely not over focus on that too much compared to what you can do, because with your healing or like damage boosting the other people, it's more about just you enabling them, right? You're not enabling you directly. So I would just probably focus on whatever you can do first, like see what your abilities does and such, and will be okay. It's second priority, let's put it this way for now. Yeah, we're talking about the abilities for sure. Yeah, and just start with your normal stuff, like which allows you to do the pressure first. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So it's that, and yeah, I think that's it. Any other questions you got, or we good to end here?
How was my ult usage on? I know that first ult on Invis was like really shaky, but how was my ult usage outside of that one?
Well, I think just the proactivity of it is fine, yeah, and Just the flow. Well, I think it's okay. It's definitely not the biggest problem right now. And just maybe it's about the lock too. A lot of times our ult usage has been okay. We actually focused on that with you before too. So I think it's okay. Yeah, obviously you can work on that to read the tempo of the fight a little bit more and such. But I definitely think, especially on Mantis, I just can try to go my own angles and ult myself. Yeah, help myself to remain the aggressive position. Yeah, maybe try this more. For Wiz, well, you can also look at it this way, but you don't have too much pressure, so just make sure you still remain proactive like you do. Should be fine, I think. That's probably what I see right now. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for me.
Oh,
And that's all the questions I have right now.
yeah, okay. Then I'm gonna send you the summary. If there are gonna be any questions later, let me know. And you can send me the game's offline review later. I will take